Shadiversity.
Greetings, I'm Shad, and I have said many a times in past videos that the Kite Shield is the best shield ever. And maybe I'm saying it's the best because it's my favorite. Is there bias? Well, that's what I want to talk about in this video, is why I think the Kite Shield is so good. So it's basically the Kite Shield, not only versus one other specific type of shield, but really versus every other type of shield in history. So let's go, baby. Now, of course, I understand that context plays an important role in this, and I freely admit there are certain circumstances in which the Kite Shield will not be the best pick. So, for instance, a situation where the Kite Shield is not preferable is for self-defense, because it's big and it's heavy, and carrying it around for the whole day, just for that off chance in which someone might attack you, very inconvenient. In actual fact, the most convenient shield for self-defense is the buckler, because it's convenient to carry around. No one actually carried around a larger shield for personal self-defense. Not that we have on record, though I'm sure someone might have done it at some time in history. It's certainly not impossible. Another situation where the Kite Shield might not be the best pick, but though this one is far more debatable, is if you're wearing full armor. When you're wearing full armor, the situation where you want a shield is to protect yourself against those weapons that can offend you while wearing that armor, meaning maces, war hammers, pole arms, like a pole axe or something like that. Yeah, you don't want to get hit even when wearing armor, and so having a shield is still advantageous in that situation. And in that situation, you want a shield that is generally thicker, and that is where we see the heater shield being used in conjunction with full plate armor. Yet the heater shield is very kind of similar to the Kite Shield, isn't it? And it's not to say the Kite Shield would not be effective in this situation, because the Kite Shield certainly was used by people who had some pretty heavy armor. It wasn't just like an 11th century shield used by the Normans in the invasion. The English were using the shield, and it was used by people who had pretty full, mail. It was used by crusaders, and there are very large heater shields that look very much Kite Shield-like, used by guys in full plate armor. So why did shields seem to get a bit smaller? Well, for me, I would say maneuverability, especially to use in conjunction with a horse. If you're moving over and back on a horse, having a shield that does not extend so far down would be quite useful. Now, you can use a Kite Shield when you're on a horse. It was used on horses quite a lot, and to get the shield over the horse onto the other side, you just kind of loop it up and put it over. There's not too much of a problem there, but it is a bit inconvenient. I can see you have to lift it up, move it over, and so having a shield that's shorter and smaller that you can just kind of put in front of the horse without it getting in the way and put it all the way over, and it's a very active, versatile, maneuverable form of defense, we can kind of see the reasons why shields started to get a bit smaller. So it doesn't discount the Kite Shield, but it is a situation in which we can see a different type of shield being more advantageous. Yet as soon as you hop off that horse, okay, I believe a Kite Shield becomes far better than when they were on the horse, by far. But if you're going to be on a horse and off a horse quite regularly, you can see why, okay, just go with the heater shield, that's fine. But off the horse, Kite Shield, so much better. Why? It protects the legs. And in regards to weight, okay, heater shields were generally made to be thicker to withstand heavier blows. Kite shields could be both. They could be made thinner, lighter, more maneuverable, and being of a larger size, they would weigh about an approximate same or equivalent weight to a heater shield. But when the Kite Shield becomes thicker and they're bigger, well then of course the Kite Shield is heavier than a heater shield, and heavier shields means more difficult to move around, a bit more awkward and stuff like that, but still fully protective. So pros and cons to both situations. Still, I'll re-emphasize that point. Kite Shield, in my opinion, is so much better for infantry than a heater shield, by far. I don't think I need to argue that point too much, because just size, all right? But let's look at the other shields that are effective while you're on foot as well. Two of the most famous examples are the Hoplites Hoplon, also known as the Aspis, and the Roman Scutum. I go into more detail on the Hoplon in my video on Greek weapons and armor. You can check it out if you're interested in. But to cover some of the basic points here, the Hoplon is not a good shield for a single person, okay? It's made specifically to be used in a phalanx formation. As soon as you are a bit more on your own, it becomes a much more difficult and cumbersome shield to use. The Hoplon is particularly heavy and is not nearly as versatile in its strap configuration. It's not made to be held in the center. You could probably hold the center kind of strap that's actually meant to go over the elbow joint, hold it there, but it's not made to be used that way. You see, the Kite Shield can be used in shield wall formations to great effect, okay? The English in the Battle of Hastings used Kite Shields in shield walls, and they protected themselves very effectively against the archers and arrow fire from William, who became known as William the Conqueror. And so yeah, Kite Shields used in shield formations, they're perfectly fine, they're really effective, and they're also effective when you're more on your own. You shouldn't really be, found on your own in a battlefield situation, but there are situations where it becomes a bit more of a chaotic melee. That situation, Kite Shield, far more advantageous. We should check out the Strat configuration of the Kite Shield and just give it a bit of credit here because it's really inventive. There are several different ways of configuration. There's like a cross one where one goes over one, so it's like there's a cross over the forearm, or there's a strap that goes over here and you loop it through and then you grab a strap and it's kind of held there, or you can kind of grab both of those straps and hold them in a center grip. But with that, you can then kind of loop your hand through, pull it up and grab a horizontal strap and then have the shield kind of right on your forearm in that method. And then you have the option of center gripping it and also gripping it horizontally. So by far the most versatile strap arrangement of any shield throughout history. You got center grip, you got strapped onto the forearm, vertical or horizontally, and there's even another strap configuration that I haven't really seen on many other shields, and that is the Kite Shield generally has an over-the-shoulder strap that goes from the top corner down to the bottom because they were kind of hooked and slung over the back. And there's a handhold made to complement this configuration when it's hanging on your back, and that is in the top corner of the Kite Shield. So right in the corner there is a handhold or strap, and then you kind of swing it from your back around your shoulder and then grab it here. And so the over-the-shoulder strap is still there holding it in, so you won't be able to pull it all the way out, but that actually helps hold it securely in place, and then you can hook it around and you're good to protect yourself. Really effective, and it is a way to equip it from it being hung on your back really quickly. You can swing it out, grab it, then swing it back, and it's back on your back, okay? Because the strap over your shoulder is still there. Very convenient, particularly convenient if you're on horseback where you need the shield out quickly, and then when you're riding away from the people you've probably just thrown a spear at and they're going to lob arrows at you, you can then throw the shield onto your back and the shield is now protecting your back. Do you see the versatility here? It's pretty awesome. Let's compare the design or shape of the Kite Shield to the Hoplon, and some of this will apply a bit to the Roman scutum, but not as much, because I think the Roman scutum, bit of evolution from the Hoplon, not saying it was a direct evolution, but there's comparisons that we can make in the design, and some of the advantages that I'm going to give to the Kite Shield does apply to the scutum. And that's in the sense of the wasted room or sides of the Hoplon, because the Hoplon is just a circle, just a good, even circle, okay? It means that there are some parts of the shield that actually are redundant. They wouldn't help protect the wearer anymore, because as soon as you have the front part of your body covered, anything that extends further than that is redundant. There's no point. It's just added weight. Now, if you're in a phalanx formation, that is advantageous because it could help, protect the guy on your sides. But if their shield is enough to cover them as well, they don't necessarily need that extra protection, and it just becomes useless weight. So the Kite Shield, in my opinion, is a more efficient design for the mass that you have compared to how much area on a person you want to protect. A Kite Shield is usually only as wide as a person, and if it's a bit wider, it's only a little bit. We also see this with the Roman scutum. It's actually made to kind of curve around the full, soldier using it. So it matches the human shape more and it covers the body more. But there is a difference between the scutum design and a Kite Shield. We can see a distinct difference in shape. And it's, again, using the mass that you have in a more efficient way, looking at the Kite Shield as opposed to the scutum now. Because if you look at a person standing up, which part of the body is wider and which is thinner? The upper body, the arms and shoulders are the wider portion, and your legs are smaller. So having a shield that is of equal width from the top to the bottom means that there are sections on the shield that have redundant weight on it, because once you protect your legs, anything that extends further than that is redundant. And so what you can do, you can cut away those sections. You get rid of useless weight that's actually not doing much to protect you, and you get a far more efficient and effective design. So in my opinion, the Kite Shield is the most efficient design for the weight and size of what it is. It's basically using as little weight and size as it can while still protecting as much of the body as possible. Far more efficient, far better overall. Now, people might say, but because the scutum is rectangle, it can be used in more kind of creative shield formations. That's very true, but it's also incorrect to assume that you can't make creative shield formations with a kite shield. It might be a bit more difficult, but the main parts you would need to protect yourself in a shield formation is the direct front and the upper portion of the front, because arrows will generally come in on an angle. And as we have seen in actual historical battles, the kite shield was used in perfect effect in effective shield walls to protect from arrow fire. So I don't think this comparison between the scutum and kite shield makes the scutum better in every single circumstance. And because of the other advantages that the kite shield has, being more efficient in its weight distribution and shape and protecting the body, being more versatile in the Strat configurations, so much easier to use on horseback. Like, think about this. Try and use a Roman scutum from on horseback. Good luck, it's not going to happen, okay? And so again, the kite shield, more versatile, can be used in more situations. It can still be used to a great level of effect that the scutum and other shields can be used very effectively in fact what they were kind of designed to do. But because of the greater versatility, the kite shield comes out on top once again. So these are the main comparisons that I wanted to make, and bringing it back to what I was saying at the beginning of this video, I'm not saying the kite shield is better in every circumstance. I'm just saying it is better in more circumstances than really any other shield I have ever studied, tried out, used, and all that good stuff. Kite shield is by far the king of the shields. It's the best, baby. But I understand some of you might disagree with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I look forward to reading them, and until that time, farewell.